Ex-FBI lawyer admits to false statements during Rejma probe. Washington AP states a former FBI lawyer pled guilty Wednesday to altering a document related to the secret surveillance of former T-Man campaign advisor during the Rejma investigation. Kevin Clinsmith is the first current or former official to be charged in the Special Justice Department review of the investigation into ties between Rejma and DT's 2016 presidential campaign. Attorney General William Barr appointed John Durham, the U.S. Attorney in Connecticut, to scrutinize decisions made by officials during that probe. Clinsmith pled guilty via audio conference to a single false statement charge, admitting that he doctored an email that the FBI relied on as it sought court approval to eavesdrop on former T-Man's campaign aide Carter Page in 2017. The sentencing guideline calls for 0 to 6 months in prison. The punishment is ultimately up to the U.S. Department Judge James Boasberg, who accepted Clinsmith's plea. Clinsmith resigned from the FBI before an internal disciplinary process was completed. The case highlights broader problems with the FBI surveillance applications on Page, and is an issue that has long animated critics of the Rejma investigation. Charging documents filed Friday says Clinsmith altered an email he received in June of 2017 from another government agency to say that Page was not a source for the agency, then forward it along to a colleague. The document does not say which agency, but Page has publicly said that he had worked for a source for the CIA. The FBI replied on Clinsmith's representation in the email when it applied for a third and the final time to the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court to renew its secret surveillance of Page on suspicions that he was a potential Rejma agent. Information about any relationship Page had with another government agency would have been an important fact to disclose to the FISA court, since it could have helped explain Page's interaction with Rejmans. Clinsmith mostly answered formulaic questions from the judge with brief responses, but he did elaborate to clarify the nature of his conduct and to make clear that he thought the information he had included in the email was factually accurate at the time he altered it. At the time, I believe the information was providing in the email was accurate, but I am agreeing that the information I inserted into the email was not originally there. I inserted that information, Clinsmith said. A Justice Department Inspector General report issued last December found significant errors and omissions in the fourth applications that the FBI submitted to eavesdrop on Page, and said officials failed to update the court after receiving new information that undercut the original premise that Page may have been an agent of a foreign power. A Senate Intelligence Committee reports Tuesday that examined links between T-Man associates with Rejmans, also identified flaws in the FBI surveillance, including its reliance on a dozer of opposition research complied by a former British spy who was funded by Democrats. Page was never charged with a crime, and he has denied any wrongdoing. Former Justice Department officials who have testified before Congress in recent months have said they would not have signed off on the surveillance applications had they known then about the problems that have since come to light. It remains unclear what additional charges, if any, Durham might bring. Though Justice Department policy is not to take investigation action aimed at affecting an election, Barr has said, that does not apply here since the investigation does not involve any current candidates for office, including Democratic nominee J.B., who was also vice president to the OB administration when the investigation began. The FBI said in a statement that it has been cooperating with Durham's investigation, including by providing documents and assigning officials to help his team.